2 for this opening map, and we know that Endpoint are a very good Dust 2. It is one of their go-to picks a lot of the time. They've found a lot of success on this map, and for HONORIS, I just don't even think double digits is going to be able to come their way.
I have to concur on that particular response. I do believe that HONORIS are going to be up the creek, as they say in the UK. And of course, not bad times all around. There's certainly good times from our partners in Gaming Malta. Of course, Multivibes is brought to you by Gaming Malta, our home of gaming excellence. Providing the prize pools and the boot camps available for the team that wins this week. But yeah, I'm all aboard the Endpoint camp. Like it's just such a night and day sort of result, and it should be a night and day sort of decision to make here. I don't see anybody except for fans of HONORIS and their fans for Taz and Neo who have reasonably made an analysis point to say, hey, this team is going to be able to beat Endpoint, just because, you know, like, even the rankings themselves sort of prove a point there. 36 for Endpoint right now, 91 for HONORIS. Like, truly a differential in terms of their positions in World Counter-Strike, and a difference in terms of their odds from Loot Bear. You can see are riding the same hype train. 3.34 on the money line if you want to take a bet on HONORIS. And well, you could be in for a decent chance. It is a best of one upset. Of course, if you do decide to do so, then make sure you go ahead and click the banner under the Twitch channel. Get your 10 free CSGO spins and up to 100 euros bonus for your deposit. Endpoint going in for their bonus pistol round and their map victory, hopefully, in this best of one. Again, best of ones that open up the group stage. Let's see if HONORIS and Endpoint can secure the deal here. It is a CT start for HONORIS. Endpoint out here towards a long control, very passive control. Stomp and Neo set the crossfire as smoke start coming in, and that's the first kill. A bomb being dropped here, but nothing more than that.
And, well, that's a good opening coming out for the HONORIS camp. They get a couple of nice kills. They spot that bomb. The rotations just come in so quickly to this A bomb side. And for Endpoint, unfortunately, they all stacked up from long. We didn't see any kind of a split trying to come out to that A bomb side. They didn't have any short presence. They all gambled it on the fact that they were going to find opening kills out to this A bomb site. And really, Jay, that's not been the case at all.
Indeed, it will not. 1 versus 5. The real quickly taken out there as HONORIS. Decent shots coming in from Stomp and Neo. Again, Stomp with his 3K. Beautiful stuff play pasted up by him by the USP, alongside Neo getting his 2K. And that's the start that HONORIS going to need if they want to try and turn this map to their favor here. Certainly going to be riding a high on Endpoint than riding the low. That is on the assumption that is even, you know, the case here for this map. There's only early doors and the pistol going the way of the CTs. A force back from Endpoint. We'll see the Tech-9s and the Eagles coming through. Specifics on what they'll have is yet to be seen, but they've got a little bit of utility here across the T-side board. We go for a nice beast execution based off of this tunnel setup. That open skybox opens a few more options, but we haven't seen much coming out from the T-side basis. So Endpoint will just go to their standard passive positions, down to lower tunnels into mid. Very carefully playing out the default here.
And they're just waiting for any kind of aggression at this point for Endpoint, going in with the force buy after just getting pretty much slapped in that first pistol round. And unfortunately for me, Jay, my feed's frozen. Is it the same for you?
Yes, it's frozen as well.
Okay, well, actually, while we've got a moment, one thing I actually want to kind of highlight is that one thing we didn't speak about in the pre-game, Jay, Endpoint haven't played an official in 10 days. So that could be like a good opportunity for them to kind of do some demo watching and to, you know, be able to just come up with some new strategies and things like that, because they've just played so much in these last 3 months.
Yeah, I'm not of a particular opinion that it's going to be too much of a handicap there for the Endpoint side, just because, you know, they're a team that are practicing every single day. So you know, for my money, they're certainly having they're certainly going to have have a regiment in place that will keep themselves together. And you know, obviously mentioned, probably preparation over on that Endpoint side seems like it's going to be you know, it just seems like they're going to be coming into this one prepared. So you could see an opportunity potentially, but I'm not going to see too much out of them from here. For me, you know, not too many big mistakes to come out from them at the very least. I mean, that could very well be different. You know, maybe the 10-day break has you know, reset their momentum at this moment. But as we look to get our stuff resolved here on the caster side, of course, you guys can still see what's going on, but we can't we can't cast it at the moment as we're still working on a small technical issue. But yeah, you know. For me, like Endpoint, they'll be prepared for this one, regardless of how little they've played over the last 10 days. They'll be practicing, they'll be studying, they'll be doing whatever they can, because this is probably one of the first UK teams I've seen that really, really actually wants to do something in World Counter-Strike. And, you know, I mean, actually wanting to do it as in wanting to do it, not just saying they want to do it. They feel like they are trying to make it happen, you know?
And well, here we are. Well, HONORIS is going to be able to at least close out that anti-eco round that came out from Endpoint. So going into round number 3, this could honestly be a 3-0 start coming out from HONORIS, considering the fact it's not really too much of an investment from Endpoint. They've got the scout out to Surreal, but for the most of them, it's just upgrades.
Scouts and M4s and MP9 as well. The Kevlar save for Thomas and Surreal. Was that brought down? I can't quite tell either way. Endpoint into the short controls, flash against the scout, missing its first shot. Actually, just connect it onto the tang. No kill against Robin, though, and the further 2 shots don't fund anyone out towards short. Robin will catch Neo. Good shot from Stomp, takes out Crucial, but Thomas rounds that corner quickly, deals with another player. 4 versus 3. Mighty Max goes dropping to 3 versus 3. Ryko seeing the head of the next man, and that bomb won't even make its way up to the bomb site here. It seems obvious to secure the plant, and then at least get the money bonus, but they are wearing down the CT camp. 1 on 2 now for Robin. Deagle rounds the corner, doesn't connect its head shot. He's desperately trying for it, but runs out of ammo in the end. So rifles have been dropped. Only 2 M4 staying in. FMRs definitely went down, so did the scout out. And a 3-0 start for the HONORIS CT side.
And, well, I'm a little bit confused in how slowly that bomb actually tried to make its way to the site. It seemed like that for Endpoint, they wanted to kind of keep fighting before getting that bomb planted. And unfortunately, with that short control coming in from HONORIS, they just shut it down completely. A tactical pause coming out for the Poles, you know, maybe taking a little bit of a moment, realizing, okay, like we're 3 rounds up, we've been able to get some great momentum. Now we got to go into the gun rounds, and we got to think, right, Endpoint are going to be on point. How can we shut this down?
Honestly, I would have seen a bit. I would have been, you know, more, you know, partial to the Endpoint side taking a tactical at this stage. You know, very early lead coming in for HONORIS, of course, on a map that they have. Sort of in their back pocket, so for them to get this 3-0 loss, a nice opportunity to return. Of course, a couple of mistakes being made on that T side as well that I'm not a particularly big fan of, so. Rifles out, AWP for Crucial, straight up in, scoped out, smokes down, flashes over, missing his shot as he's completely blind. Incendiary should force them out of the long house here, so. Long challenge coming in from HONORIS, going to do well to gain the map control, pushing against Endpoint, but not going to overextend.
And this is actually really passive coming out from Endpoint, especially on that long challenge. It was really only the AWP of Crucial that was looking for some information. So at the moment for HONORIS, you know, they've got a bit of info. They've been able to take long control. They've got 2 players stacked up at the B bomb side. Not really anyone watching out from mid at the moment, so that could certainly be a bit of a weakness if Endpoint try and exploit that. One thing I'm certainly keeping an eye on, Jay, though, is the fact that there is not a lot of utility in the fact of HONORIS, and the reason for that is they've used so much of it in the early round.
All pin for Stomp here on short, ready to receive Surreal. The Molotov and that play across, and he has to get out of dodge before he burns alive, and they establish that short presence here for Endpoint. 48 seconds to the clock. The AWP scoped in, the smoke down will now cover off that car position. Neo stands by to receive here from the CT side. The smoke up from Endpoint, buying themselves a bit of breathing room, but they need to push in for the actual hit. Again, their running time pretty low. Smokes continue, Stomp facing towards long just in case. M4 for Neo here on ramp. Manic spray against Thomas does line up that frag in the end. So kicking things off for a kill to the CT camp. A AWP shot does not quite find its way on towards Surreal, but Neo will take out Crucial. The bomb plant will be secured here with 5 versus 3, making it 2. And this defensive is posted up pretty confidently here from HONORIS on the rifle rounds now. Surreal will take a fight, does get taken 1 frag. Mighty Max finds a trade back on Neo as well. So 3 versus 2 now. Favor to the CT side, position to set up pretty well. Mighty Max gets dealt with, and Surreal on 7 HP. He's going to get jump faced by Prism, and that'll be enough to take him down.
And what a great defensive hold coming out there from HONORIS. And what kind of went, I suppose, astray for the Endpoint side is, well, they had a late lurk coming out from Robin at the longhouse. They had 4 players trying to commit through short, but they didn't find any entries. The Molotov really wasn't able to deal with Neo. No one could take him down for the longest amount of time. And for HONORIS, the rotations were there, and, well, they were just in the perfect positions to shut that down. So a 4-0 start coming out from the CT defense, we could certainly have a bit of a best of 1 on our hands. HONORIS are looking very good in the early stages of Dust 2.
Indeed, they are. Maxwell's bonus out for the T side with the extra bomb plant bonus. You see the buys coming in very quick out to the long house, but Thomas's spray is all sorts of awkward. Mighty Max tagged to 6 HP as well. Flashes in, spray from Ryko, completely blind. Robin giving away a little bit of information. Max does strike, you get 1 pick, but just pushing even further forward will lead to his demise. 4 versus 2. And HONORIS another great defensive to the long position. Surreal will enter towards mid, though. Smoke down at CT. Blind shot, seeing where Taz is coming from. He knows exactly where he is in window. Trying to take that face to flashbang over. Taz takes that frag back, so it's all left a crucial 1 versus 3. The bomb is on his back, facing away at the wrong moment. And it's all down to timing for Taz. He sees the man, knows exactly where he is. Awkward positions from Crucial. And got a minute to get the bomb plant here, but a 1 versus 3 retake to fend off. And Taz might not even give him the time of day.
This is going to just be so difficult for Crucial, and yeah, can't even get that bomb planted. 5-0 coming out for the HONORIS side. Okay, Jay. Maybe, just maybe, we could have a little bit of an upset on our hands. This is great momentum, a great start, very confident from HONORIS. And for Endpoint, they've only been able to get 1 bomb plant so far in these last 5 rounds. So economy-wise, they are in shatters at the moment.
Not the star that Endpoint wanted here on T side. It's a pretty balanced map when it comes to their CT and T side biases, but still, we'd like to get a decent start on their map, on a map, on a very good map for them, one of their most played in the pool. So the AKs here on short, going to try and contest, but they're unable to get the frags off on them. Damage done to the T side downstairs in the lower tunnels. There's 3 AKs here for HONORIS. They'll have a pretty decent setup with all the save weapons, and this should end up being a 6th easiest out for HONORIS. When do Endpoint take a knee and try to figure things out?
I certainly think they need to take tactical after this round. You know, just take a moment to go, right, okay, you know, we haven't really found some success. We've been very passive. We've been very slow and methodical on this T side. Let's try and do something quick. Let's try and get out of the long house incredibly quickly, get some flashes out. They just need to try and isolate an opening kill. They get an opening kill, they put the pressure back onto HONORIS to try and make a play. Because you've got to think at the moment, Endpoint, they're struggling to even just find impact at this point.
Smokes down to CT, setting up a crossfire. Third man making his way in from the CT spawn. Awkward incendiary back, but Taz still gets Crucial. Bomb going to make his way up and then get a bomb plant from here. This will just be good enough for the T-side camp. M4 jump facing, seeing where Robin is, does take him down, but not able to deny the bomb plant here. So extra money for Endpoint, given the half by nature of their round. It seems like it's a decent enough setup there, a decent enough achievement for the T-side camp, but not a single casualty sustained by HONORIS in that round. 6-0. And when do Endpoint take the knee? When do they go for the pause? Not in this round, it seems. They've got rifles back out. They're just going to go full frontal with it.
It could have been a good opportunity to have a bit of a chat with their coach of Rossard, kind of, you know, come up with a couple of concepts and some ideas of what they want to do to try and get back into this game, because really they need to be clawing some rounds on this T side. And it looks to start things off, it's going to be quite aggressively out through middle, and this is a bit of a change-up from Endpoint. We haven't quite seen this kind of aggression, at least with a couple of players.
And entries from Surreal early on in the CT spawn. Flashbang could catch him off guard. He's dead and buried. Well read there and well played from HONORIS. The nade tank straight to the face. Neo heard the body blocking. He takes the man down. Smoke up on towards Cross and onto Boost. All siphon off that CT spawn player, but a 5 versus 3 for Endpoint. They have considered the mid control.
HONORIS have done their homework. They have really done their homework. They're reading the game incredibly well. The fact that they just flash in the CT player to swing of Neo to get a couple of kills is just, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect in terms of positioning. And Endpoint, this is them really struggling at the moment against a team that really should not be in the lead at any margin. HONORIS is showing up at another level, and Endpoint, it just seems like everything they do is being adapted to.
Oh, the AWP can't even get the kill on Neo. 5-on-3 situation. Ryko will get Robin towards that mid position. Does get taken out in the end, so they lose one of the AKs. They've still got 3 left, though. HONORIS had 4. Neo picked up 1. He's going for a backstab as well. Straight in from long, out towards mid. Doesn't see any T-side presence. These flashbangs over should give up the ghost on where they're going to commit to. The Orpa Stomp is alone. Could get overwhelmed. They could secure a bomb plant from this, but there's Neo to drop the bomb, and Stomp gets Mighty Max as well. So 7-0 for HONORIS. 7 rounds in a row to start off their CT camp. And Endpoint kind of hitting a rude awakening here. I mean, maybe some of the time off has affected them a little bit. A lot of mistakes being made, and as you mentioned, HONORIS have gone away, done their homework for this match. Yeah,
look, certainly Endpoint have just really... They don't even look like they're challenging at the moment. This is just so dominant from HONORIS, and you've got to think the confidence with, you know, this Polish team having some really poor results recently. This would be massive if they can take a best-of-1 victory over Endpoint. And well, we've seen the mid-aggression coming out before, and it looked like they tried to go for it, but as Incendiary, it's going to make sure that they have another plan.
Into the short position. They've got a half bite going here for Endpoint. Smoke's down. Molotov still standing. Flashbang's also at the ready. Cyril puts his smoke up. The short control. The utility back is smoking. They try to block them off from the short position, but still they've made their way past it. Will continue to commit here to the A-bomb site. Good taps from Robin. Takes out Neo. AWP going to get forced back. Damage has been done to Thomas at least. Flash is in. Ryko's going to cover off his teammate and turn it to 4 versus 4. But Stomp is not going to be able to last long with that little HP on his board. Ryko burns Thomas back to a 3-on-3 again. Bomb has been dropped on the bomb site here. No plant yet for Endpoint. And this might allow HONORIS a chance to once again fend them off from a money bonus.
And this is a good chance for Endpoint. They need to be able to get onto the board. And, you know, it may have not been a gun round, Jay, but it's still a possibility that they're able to clutch this out, especially with Cyril with the AWP. Not quite going to hit that shot. And Ryko's going to actually punish him for it. Mighty Max on towards the side. And well, he's the last one left. 1 versus 2 coming out. And it's going to be another round for HONORIS. 8-0. 8 rounds in a row. And with the streak, Jay, it continues.
Well then. Well then. During that point earlier in the pregame, we were just like, yeah, this is going to be easy for Endpoint. We don't have faith in HONORIS, you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
Project that's failed for the time being, and HONORIS are, you know, Endpoint, they've got a good Dust 2, they've got a good map, they've already won a best-of-1 against them confidently. Like, where is that Endpoint right now? Because it is not on the server, I'll tell you that for free. Orps in for Stomp, looking down to the T-spawn. I see someone out here towards that mid-control. 2 players out, almost lined up for him. Finally, Thomas draws a man advantage out.
Oh, it's just been so long since we've seen an opening man advantage, and after getting that first pick out from mid, they just go quick into the B bomb site. Prism, the only man to try and defend. If he can get another kill, this could be big, but already man advantage 4-on-2, and you've got to think this round's pretty much all but over for the HONORIS side, and it comes off the back of an early man advantage. Thomas does a great job of isolating the mid AWP, and then immediately they go fast into B, and Endpoint, they're going to find a little bit of success. They're going to find their first round on the T side.
That round was so scrappy from Endpoint, though. Like, you saw the entries towards B. They gave up the 1v1s to Prism. And he had gotten those 2 kills to his name on those individual faces. That possibly could have been a very different story for Endpoint. Even when that bomb went down, they had no T-side support here. They could have had players in tunnels, and Endpoint wouldn't know because they haven't cleared it out. Especially as they exit out. Reckless aggression from Thomas. Taken out by Neo, so the economy will get damaged up a little bit here for the T-side. They have enough money to rebuy, so it won't be too much of a worry on the loss bonus that's stacked up. This has been their first on the Endpoint board, just about scraping together a decent start here.
And well, we spoke about Ryko in the pregame. You know, both him and Prism being the youngest guns. You know, not really known players, but certainly Ryko stepping up in a big way, putting up some really big numbers so far in Dust 2. And you've got to think for Endpoint, yeah, we got a first round of the board, but we need to see more from them. We need to see a follow-up. And it's going to come out through mid again, or at least in the early rounds. Mighty Max showing a little bit of presence. But his teammates, they goofed up out through long. And, like, just not even a flash, just nothing. Ryko just swings the angle.
Mighty Max was not ready for that. Couldn't place his crosshair on the right position. Couldn't adjust it to the player. Just got, as you mentioned, no flash, just swinged in and dead. 5-on-4 already for HONORIS in the long campaign here from Endpoint. They're making no qualms about it. They're putting a ton of utility out here. On after force a full-blown commitment and a rotation from HONORIS, but he's still got 3 players with a 4th that can support from CT. Taz Seeing the smokes coming down. Gap to the left-hand side, smoked back. Neo's going to try and force forward. Tad's going to get pushed back towards the Goose corner, and big backstab from Neo finds himself one, not quite a second. Thomas ends that trade and does double up into a 3 versus 2. His teammates back up towards long, and he has no idea there's another player on site as Ryko takes him down. The AWP Crucial missing and falling to a 3K for the CT side. 9-1 on the board for HONORIS. Yeah,
this is as disappointing as when Cobble got removed. I mean, that's honestly what it is. Like, this is just not a great performance from Endpoint, and you've got to think, like, yeah, you've got another chance in the lower bracket if they end up losing this best of 1, but Endpoint, for me, were, like, first favorites to make it to the playoffs, and, well, they're not playing like a team that can make it to the playoffs at this point.
AK in for Thomas, gets himself 2 picks. All right, finally something going their way with an AWP shot connecting to Stomp. Does not take him down. It does a ton of damage at least. It's a 2-on-5 right here. It's workable for Endpoint if tradable on towards 2 of the tagged up T-side players. And that's more like it here for Endpoint. It has taken a while to get there, and I'm not sure they can replicate that round after round. The AWP face in, caught off by Crucial. He's missing his shots. He does connect that one at least, but 1 of 4 kills he's found so far here on this CT half. Surreal will close up the damage and the aggression coming in to the mid position. And in general, the numbers here for Endpoint are shockingly low.
And you've got to think they just need to win rounds, honestly. They need to find opening picks. It certainly seems that when they're finding opening duels and they're finding some early success, that the round just kind of comes into its own. Beautiful spray transfer coming out there from Thomas. And Crucial finding a couple of kills with the AWP, so all in all, Endpoint. It's going to be a tough road for them. I mean, at most, they're going to be able to get 6 rounds on T. At least we should see a third, considering the buy that's coming up from HONORIS. Really shouldn't even expect them to do too much damage.
Yeah, the economy has been broken at least, so Endpoint can find their momentum here. Ooh, Stomp! Getting a 1-up on Crucial, and again, that AWP just unable to be effective here for the Endpoint side.
And that's the scariest element, right? Because Crucial is probably one of the biggest fraggers, you would say, for this Endpoint side. The fact that he really has not been able to find, you know, so much success with that AWP so far is at least one of the worries, one of the weaknesses for Endpoint at the moment. Unfortunately, Prism's alone at B, and you've got to think that Endpoint is setting themselves up for a B split.
Smokes down, Neo forward, a scout. He gets the shot on Surreal. Sprayed back by Thomas, turns into a 3-on-3, and now Prism is all alone. Mighty Max is here. Stomp gets Thomas, Prism gets Mighty Max. The bomb's been dropped as well. Robin in a 1-on-3, and they've turned what little they had to their advantage. Facing out, the AWP ready for the cross, will not connect on the man, but Robin will plant to the site now. 1-on-3 for this guy. Checking out the back line, the flashbang goes over Prism, gonna shoulder bait it, good headshot for 1 frag. No utility, can't afford to go out to the open. They're both coming in from the CT spawn entrances here. Stomp and Taz. No utility for their own accord here. They're gonna go for the retake. I'm not gonna say the weapon. Stomp faces in. Taz is also seen as well. Robin knows exactly how to deal with this. Fall back and keep control, keep the headshot angle, and just save the round for Endpoint.
Oh my goodness, that's down to the wire. But the thing is, that wasn't even a buy round coming out from HONORIS. And yeah, I mean, you could say it was a good clutch from Robin, but in all honesty, you can kind of expect him to win out that 1 versus 3, considering, you know, the weapons that the CT's had. Great repositioning onto that last kill of Taz. And okay, let's just see if we can gather some momentum for Endpoint. AWP from Crucial. Ooh, that was an opening chance for both AWPs, actually.
Neither AWP's going to land it here. Not damage done either. No leg shots, no kills. Neo with the M4 moving in from the mid position. Surreal and Crucial. Thomas all in position, or for Crucial gets ducked against. Neo respected and realized that position, so Didn't allow it to come and punish him. Nice and Cindy down to block off that smoke. So again, well read from Neo at this stage. The nades on the Molotovs against him should force him back. 11 HP, he's not dead yet, but he can't be able to swing out aggressive again.
Unfortunately for HONORIS, they don't really know what's going on at the moment. Yes, there's been a lot of utility and a lot of gunfights out through mid, but no one's pushed aggressively at the moment. So considering how passive they are on the sites, they're really just waiting for an execution. And we can see Robin just trying to see if he can sell some sort of fake, or Mighty Max, I should say, over to this B bomb side. But the execution, it's coming out through short, and Stomp needs to be able to land a good hold.
Molotovs then flashes out, Stomp goes away at the wrong moment, could have had a perfect chance for a kill, he's burning. So is Thomas at this stage. The bomb plant can be secured towards short, they're evading the flashbangs, and the orb scopes in, misses his flick, he's tagged to just 4 HP. Crucial gets Raiko, Stomp still gets a kill on the way out, and Prism gets Mighty Max back to a 3-on-3, so... single even standing for the man advantage. Neo scoped in by the AWP of Crucial. He's so low HP though, and the M4 could do the damage for him. Flash in against Robin. Taz can take him down. Neo gets Crucial as well. And once again, Surreal is left to a clutch. One pick found, no more than that. The defuse will come through, and HONORIS have made a fantastic retake, I should say, work for the favor of the CT side.
Now, we've probably casted.
Wait.
He's got it. All good. All good. It was down to the wire, but like we've probably casted what, maybe 3, 4, 5 series of HONORIS over the last couple of months. This is the best that I think I've ever seen them. Like, yes, it's the best of one. Yes, there's upset potential, but fundamentally, like, these guys are on point. They're retaking together. The utility usage is great. They're reading the game incredibly well. They're reading Endpoint very well. And it comes down to, yeah, they're watching demos. They're doing their homework. They know how Endpoint play and reading the strats. 10-3 up on the CT side of Dust 2. This is so unexpected, Jay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Endpoint have clearly come into this with a little bit of reckless confidence because they have 16 forward HONORIS in the past, but this is not the same HONORIS from back then. Look at that shot from Stomp. A beautiful start as Surreal goes down in the midst of the smoke. An Endpoint pressed out towards the long control in mid and short. Mighty Max is sitting pretty, waiting for a CT to aggress towards him, but 60 seconds left. He's going to have to try and active for this split. Smokes go down, the AWP trying to respond to it, but Crucial just going to keep Overwatch, try and supply the cover, potentially get that frag back, but still a man advantage for HONORIS here.
Oh, Stomp's attention's been pulled away back to short, and Mighty Max and Crucial are able to strike, and this is the man advantage. Honestly, the CTs are probably going to save at this point. Neo's the only player close to the bomb side. If Prism can get a kill, then great for him, but honestly, this could be a save attempt coming out, but no, into the 3-on-3, they might go for it now. Doable.
There's no kit, one flashbang, and that's going to be the main issue here for HONORIS. They were down to the wire in the last round. Flashes on, Robin faced in. Thomas gets only one pick, and it's all left to Crucial again. 1 versus 2 with his AWP. He's going to need to land a lot more kills than he has done so far. This map up, big miss against Taz. He'll shoulder bait and reface. The bomb's plotting on default, and Crucial just barely gets out of dodge. Scopes in, Taz shuts him down a bit quicker to the trigger finger. And 11 for HONORIS. This dominating CT side continues for the polls. And Endpoint just don't know what to do.
Oh, well, lovely partners over at Hellcase giving you an opportunity to grab some fantastic codes using code MALTAV15. We'll give you a 15% refill bonus. You'll be able to check out the links in the Twitch description below underneath the channel. But you're right, Jay. You know, this is, you know, it's a shocker. It's a lightning storm of Counter-Strike because I just can't believe that HONORIS are being able to hit shots like this. And Stomp, you know, when he's landing shots like that, you've got to think that this has got to be a victory for HONORIS.
He landed the collateral as well on the player back there for the tag.
Unreal.
This is a confidence we have not seen from HONORIS ever.
Yeah.
5-on-2. And the AWP looking for more. He's seen his man, but Robin will finally find the trade back for the T side. 4 versus 2. And Max and Robin. Well, I mean, where do they go from here? I mean, they've got the bomb on their back. They have got mid control. Uncontested for most of the aggressive angles, except for the tunnels, which is actually where they're going to lean towards. So, oh, yay, the bad read. Prism Onto the entrance, seeing Mighty Max spray is going to go awkward for the T-side player and loses the majority of his HP. He doesn't give up bomb position. It could be a lurk play, but Endpoint going to rethink their strategy. Try to see if they can slip their way in towards short.
They've got a couple of options here, Endpoint, and well, for HONORIS, they need to make sure they're converting this round, considering the fact they had a pretty easy 5-on-3. And they have let a few of these kills slip. And Taz playing alone over at the B bomb site. Now, he's only got a single flashbang, and the rotations are going to come in really slowly. But Raiko knows he's pushed aggressively out through Longhouse to top mid, that he can call it out. It has to be a B play.
Flashes in, Taz going to get mollied out of the back line here. The blue box spray through, awkward, and it does damage to Robin, but only 47 HP left for him. 2-on-2, Max has got to turn back to tunnels here as there's a backstab coming in from Raiko. Counter flash back in, he's going to get faced away, and Max continues to push forward here, gets that headshot. Neo, last man standing. Tap up on site, he's been heard of the footstep. Flashbang going to be evaded by the lone CT player. He's got the kit, he's got Robin out in the open, but he jumps, and that throws his spray completely off kilter. So a fourth for Endpoint to start clawing things back. 11-4 on the half. They got to look to their CT half to try and get this under control.
And it all really comes down to the pistol round. If Endpoint lose pistol, they're pretty much done in this best of one. One thing to really keep open mind about for HONORIS is, how strong those retakes were. We saw so many bomb plants coming out from Endpoint, so many retake scenarios that could have or should have gone their way that didn't. 4-11. This is going to be one hell of a comeback from the UK side. And again, this is HONORIS playing at the highest level that I've ever seen them. Look at the amount of utility on the pistol round. 3 players with util for HONORIS.
And they're certainly set up and ready to make their moves into a T side. Utility about to get set up here to the longer positions. The USP out for Robin. Smokes down to the cross here. HONORIS are going to waste no time making their way into the A-bomb site. The exact same strat that Endpoint ran on their T-side pistol. The CT's much more suppressed, falling back out position. They've got Crucial with Gandalf. Could it be a linchpin? No one's going to check that, no one's going to molly it. I think Raiko will start to move forward against it. Storm out in the open, headshot comes in one, but only one. USP swings out from Surreal, dealt with by Prism next to a 4 versus 3. Plant still secured now to these players on short. All 3 of them are on short. As Mighty Max gets forced off angle, the CTs with a kit. They're going to get pressed in. Look at the aggression from HONORIS. They're making it work. Prism gets 2, Taz gets 1. And that's a pistol round for HONORIS. Beautifully done.
And it's almost like they expected someone to be in that Gandalf position. They planted, and as soon as the plant went down, or as soon as it tried to go down, we saw the swing coming out. And what I love is the intent for HONORIS to get aggressive. Rather than just playing the numbers game, rather than holding to that 4-on-3 and just playing passive in the sights, they aggress. The smoke is down towards that short position. The flashbang comes in, and they are trying to take the fights. Oh, Stomp. We've seen it with the AWP. We're seeing it with the Scout.
Straight up, wallbang headshot. Deagle, Taz takes Robin. Crucial going to respond with one of his own, right? That was damage done to Taz. No headshot, wallbang, yeah, sure. But Beasts are under their control, and it continues to get worse and worse for Endpoint. AWP shots doing damage. Scout shots, I should say, doing damage. No AWPs in this early in the game, but considering the shots that we've seen coming out from these Scouts, it definitely feels like they're AWPs at the moment. 13 on the board for HONORIS. This one is basically done. Endpoint look to, well, either force buy and try and deny the match point, or
they
eco.
Have to, right? I mean, I'm personally not a big fan of teams like force buying back and back because they're low on rounds, but you've got to think for Endpoint. At what point do you go, we have to force? We've got 3 players staying alive. We're down 4-13. For me, it's got to be a force.
I mean, if they're eco, then it won't be the worst situation in the world. They won't lose the map point just yet. We'll get close to it, but we'll not lose it. And it looks like the Kevlar around them is going to be the half buy. I'm not sure why you go for a half buy, not a full-blown force, but alas. To Endpoint's detriment, if they concede from here. Nades up, going to do damage to Neo and Taz, so that's quite a bit of a early HP advantage. And actually, Robin's going to capitalize on that. Take down Neo to open things up.
Oh, look at the aggression from Surreal. Super aggressive up towards top mid. And I'll tell you what, no one's actually here because they've pushed forward into the long house. This could be one hell of a backstab coming out. But for Endpoint, they can stack up the A bomb side and try and hold as long as they can. If they can hold for 20, 25 seconds, that can allow the backstab to come in for Surreal.
He's checking out the T-spawn, though. He's wasting time and hoping they fall back out position. Mighty Max and Thomas on the defensive now. Flash in, the heads are going to be evaded. Prism takes out Robin towards that CT spawn. Good shot from Mighty Max. Going to scope in and get a little bit more out here. Missing the second player here with the bomb on his back. Taz will take him down. And Deagle on Thomas, burning alive towards Gandalf. Finally, that backstab coming in for Surreal. Does catch Prism for one good frag. Scout in for Crucial. No jump scout. He does get Taz on the quick scope. And Raiko now is back against the wall. Two players to find, seeing where Crucial is. Takes him down, sees the player at card. Taps his way to the headshot. 3K for the man. And Endpoint just couldn't get the job done. 14-4. And now the rifles come out for the CT side.
And if you're just, tuning into the stream, the HUD is not bugged. It is 14-4 up for HONORIS. I can't believe how many rounds we're seeing going this way, this HONORIS side. And it looks like, at least from what we're seeing in terms of performance in Dust 2, that these guys have been playing together for a year. Just everything is going their way. They're finding so much success. And Endpoint, the double orbs coming out with the AWP, they're trying everything. Absolutely everything at this point.
Glass cannon AWPs as well.
Even worse.
Endpoint absolutely need this round. If they lose this one, then it is for certain done.
Yeah.
It's funny too, in the pre-game, before we actually went live, I should say, we were joking around. It's like, so long as Endpoint don't get onto train, we should be okay. It'll be a one-sided victory. I guess true. That, Dust 2 could also be included in that, except going the opposite way. Well, a great chance to get us back on schedule at the very least. So, positives across the production board. But
on your
a minute to go. Endpoint defended out. Flashbangs in against Mighty Max. M4 so close. They are not going to check this blue box. Stomp will keep his eyes on there. The AWP going to try and challenge it from Crucial. He can't support his teammate directly here. He's not going to take that fake. Taz on top of the blue boxes. Raiko checks it. That's the first man down.
Oh, Taz was so in his face of Crucial, but unfortunately the AWP on the CT side winning out. But you got to think, Robin, he's done. This has got to be a save. Please don't go for this Endpoint. This is a 2-on-4. You've got no kits. You got no utility. Surreal's glass cannon. Oh my goodness. HONORIS are now at map point. I'm so shell-shocked.
A 15-4 map point as well.
Yeah.
And Neo lines them both up in mid to add even more salt to the wound for Endpoint. This is over. This is done. And, well, a hell of a way to shut us up. Let's put it that way. That is decimation from the part of the Polish squad. And Endpoint, certainly a rude awakening.
It is.
Certainly a rude awakening for this team.
It's a big wake-up call. It really is for Endpoint. They're going to have to dig deep. Again, favorites to make it into the playoffs, really not showing up so far in this opening best-of-1. And for Endpoint, they've played 146 maps in the last 3 months. They're on record the team that has played the most in the world of Counter-Strike in terms of officials at the moment. They've had a 10-day break, having a bit of a rest, and we've seen great results from them. 4th in MDL, 7th day from the Hell Case. We've seen them qualify for DreamHack Open Summer only a few days ago. And they've shown up like this in a best-of-1. This is atrocious. This is disappointing. And you've got to think for HONORIS, what an opportunity to capitalize into going into the winners best-of-3.
Mars is out, one final stand for Thomas, and he gets 2 kills, dropping that bomb out in CT control as well, the edge of the door. Surreal going to make this backstab work a bit better as well. This AWP has no idea he's here, he's tagged, he's taken, and it's going to be 4 frags traded for 1 on the CT side. Where has this Endpoint been all game? Yeah. Where has this defensive been for this half? Where were those frags on the T side most importantly?
Yeah, HONORIS, it kind of seemed like they really didn't find any openings coming out from long. Maybe try and make it expensive for Raiko. Unfortunately, no bomb on his back. It's going to be incredibly difficult for him to do anything. And okay, they're not done just quite yet. But But you've got to think, you know, they're playing with so much pressure on their backs now. And honestly, I mean, what, the odds going into this, I think you mentioned it was like 3.3 something for HONORIS for loot bet. Certainly weren't favorites.
It's something along the lines of like 3.30.
It was, yeah, it was about there.
I would imagine those will swing well the other way.
Yeah, not quite the same now.
It's not been fun. It's not been fun for the team from the UK. Oh, my boys. At least they do manage to stay alive for the moment and start grinding back to overtime here. I mean, I don't see it being as likely, like, you know, at least in the Budapest 5 versus LDLC matchup, they were like within touching distance when they started their comeback. Like, they were 14-14 at one point. So, like, I just don't see it happening for Endpoint. For me, it looks like it's going to be just delaying the inevitable for this CT side, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I really don't see there being an opportunity for a comeback from Endpoint. We'll have to wait and see, like, how long it will actually take for HONORIS until they can find their 16th. Very passive to start things off. That is an interesting smoke. Okay. Not seen that one before. So it's not quite the perfect mid to be, but...
I think it's because Neo didn't have any smokes for his own rights. We needed one to get down there and try and sell the idea that there's two players.
Yeah.
Well, bursting on towards long here for the control. It's Neo that's going to be right on towards short, so they've got a good idea of what's going on here for Endpoint. Nothing in terms of the mid-take, and Neo gets Robin, starts things off. Crucial. Now got Thomas there to support him from pit, but he really needs that aggressive position. He'll jump forward, see Taz, but that's going to be suicidal as Taz doubles up and two players remain. Now one player remains. Prism to shut it down. Mighty Max will stay alive for the moment, but only gets 2 kills on the way out. There it is, 16-5. And that was disappointing from Endpoint, you know. A part of me is very happy that we've seen HONORIS